believe that's him.
Yeah. Let's see. Another fun fact. The iconic image of Father Moran featured on the Exorcist movie poster was inspired by a series of famous paintings. I cannot pronounce them, but they're German. There's a painting that looks very similar to the image, and they kind of were inspired by the painting and shot the photo of it like that for the movie.
Well, that's pretty cool. Schnuffen, schnicken, hiking.
The film was so scary that in theaters they had to hand out sick bags, and there were reports of people fainting.
Yeah, I did hear that. And I believe one of the reasons that is because not only are we talking about some taboo stuff here, about demons and devils and religion and all that, but it's happening to a little girl, and I think that put extra scariness to it.
You want to hear something else scary? About
What's
another
that?
fun fact, Warner Brothers had to hire bodyguards to protect the actress who played Reagan because some religious nuts believed that she was her performance was glorifying Satan and wanted to kill her.
I actually did hear Linda Blair talk about this, but only recently on Shudder about haunted films. I did hear her talk about how they had to hire bodyguards because people were trying to pull her hair. They were trying to take her to church. They were trying to baptize her. They were trying to do all these crazy things. Some people wanted to kill her because they were glorifying everything. Or at least they thought they and everybody else was glorifying. And yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. People take things way too serious and blow them way, way out of proportion. Especially your religious Bible thumpers. They're a whole different breed of people. The Exorcist was the first horror movie to receive an Oscar nomination for Best Picture.
I did know that.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Though, because movies like Night of the Living Dead and Psycho and Frankenstein and the Wolfman and Creature and Dracula, in my opinion, were just as important, and they should have got their due. But I'm glad The Exorcist opened up eyes.
Yes, thank God.
I mean, they still shit on our genre. They still shit on it, but, at least 1 year we could look at them and say, suck it.
Okie dokie. Here's a fun little fact. Police in Washington, D.C. threatened to arrest anyone who sold tickets to The Exorcist that was non-adults.
Well, I didn't know that, but it's not far-pitched from what it is today. You have to be, I think, 18 or older to go see a rated R movie. It might be 21 now. I think it's 21. I don't know. It's either 18 or 21, unless accompanied by an adult. Right. So I think that's kind of a common thing. If you're trying to sell tickets to a 15-year-old at a rated R movie, then I think even today you could probably be charged with that, at least get a fine.
Yeah, but I mean, this is back in 1973, so.
Well, yeah, it was.
It was a different world back then. They were very, very strict in their beliefs.
Yeah.
Well, another fun fact: that UK audience had a hard time finding the Exorcist movie for many years. So apparently, it was pulled from shelves in 1988.
Well, the thing about it is, you touched on the religious thing earlier. Well,
Yeah.
in the UK, they had this list called Video Nasties, and it was a list of movies that they deemed inappropriate to show the people. So anybody who sold these tapes or whatever went to jail. If you had these videos, okay, as a private use,
Yeah.
it was okay. But they were busting small time video store people that were, trying to make a buck, because it was basically the government stepping in, telling the people what they can and what they can't do. And the thing about it is, this is England. This is not America. I don't know what their Bill of Rights is, but over here in America, we have freedom of speech, and we have, we do have censorship stuff here as well, but not as bad as over there. Like they tried to in the 80s to ban a bunch of horror movies and heavy metal bands because
Yeah.
Satan and whatnot, but they were the most that they got was a parental advisory sticker. In England, though, they actually succeeded with banning a bunch of movies, and I don't believe The Exorcist was one of them, but it probably got caught up in the shitstorm. And if you said it happened in 1988, that was around the time where these video nasties were coming up. So yeah, there's great documentaries on video nasties. I got a great documentary on it if you really want to know about censorship, especially when it comes to horror films.
Yeah. Which to me, they're just fucking movies. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but another thing that I want to add before we move on, guess who was pushing these censorships in England?
I don't know, the Queen.
No, it was religious groups.
Catholic boy lovers.
I don't know what they are, but they were, yeah. It was corruption, They did a test one time. They went to an elementary school in England, and they asked all these kids, "Have you seen this movie? Have you seen that movie?" And it was several movies that they asked them, "Have they seen?"
Right.
That were on the video nasty list.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, we've seen this. Well, sure, I've seen it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when it was an undercover journalist just
Right.
making it, and the journalist would be like, "Okay, what's the movie about?" And the kids couldn't explain it at all. They
Right.
just lied,
Yeah.
So they brought the test back and they said, "Look, the censorship people are saying, look at how many kids are being influenced by this." And then the undercover journalist was like, half of the kids lie about what they watch.
Right.
And it was like, they didn't want to hear it.
Right.
It's one of those things, you get into an argument with somebody and you make a good point and the other person won't even acknowledge that what you just said,
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to fix the tax evasion in this country. You look like a dog. You just look like a dog.
You look like a dog.
Butt
Yeah.
ass ugly.
Yeah. I mean, they're kids. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, kids are just
They're in
they're
the words
kids.
in the words of Marv from Home Alone, they're kids. They're stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I don't know if you know, but chain smoking and whiskey helped McCambridge achieve Pazuzu's
Raspy voice.
Yeah, raspy voice in the movie.
Yeah, I can see how that... Which is crazy because I think... Wait. Yeah, when she's on the bed and she's like... Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
What a lovely day for an exorcism.
Yeah.
So, this is something I didn't know. Pig squeals were a key part of the Exorcist sound design. So much of Reagan's moaning and groaning were created by a mixture of pig squeals.
That's interesting. Did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I know. I was like, MP, MP, MP. The deer is on the roof. So,
Are you Elms?
are you Elms? Okay. So the Denise that played Violet in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yep.
Yeah, she was actually in line for the role of Reagan in The Exorcist.
Yeah. She was, I guess she was a coming up child actress at the time. Yeah. So, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. What's her name? Let's see. Linda Blair's mother loved the Exorcist script, so apparently she proofread it.
Well, that's a hell of a thing to look at and say, well, my daughter would be perfect for this shit. Right. I don't know how much of that I believe.
I don't know.
I think she just wanted her daughter to get a part and to kickstart her career.
Yeah. I don't know how much. I mean, she might have actually read the script and actually liked it, but, you know, who knows?
Well, you know, the beginning of the film is more like a drama, and you really don't get to the... You know what's cool about The Exorcist? The Exorcist is kind of like Jaws, where you got all this stuff leading, but it's only like the last 30 to 45 minutes where like crazy, like real crazy shit goes down. So
many of the Exorcist cast and crew believe that the set was cursed.
I believe you said that earlier.
Yeah.
Or did you use the word haunted?
No, they had a priest come in and bless the set, but everybody thought that, you know, because of the unfortunate series of events that happened in it, you know,
cursed.
It's cursed. So in case you didn't know, there's actually several versions of this movie scattered throughout the world.
Yes, indeed, with the video cassettes and DVDs, Blu-rays, there's unrated versions, there's extended versions,
there's cut versions,
theatrical. So there's several different versions of this film.
Yeah, this movie's been cut and pasted and plastered more times than fucking Tara Reid. Boom! That was fucking on point.
Well,
bless her heart.
That was a Sharknado of a punchline.
I'm sorry. Anyway, getting back to Van Wilder. Now, the last thing we want to talk about, and probably the most horrific thing about the Exorcist movie, is that there has been 9 related deaths.
Yeah, there's been like 9 people that have either worked on this film,
right,
or related to people that's worked on this film that mysteriously died over the years. And that's how you get these, you know, cursed films, haunted films,
right,
and stuff like that. And then, you know, that's where the legends come from. And but these are legitimate, and you know, some of them can, you know, are probably explained away, and then some of them are a little bit more mysterious, which leads to, you know, folklore.
Yeah.